Hi everyone, today we're going to do something a little bit fancy on the barbecue. Now most people have heard of tomahawk steaks, which are a big old bit of prime rib of beef with the rib bone still attached. Looks amazing, tastes absolutely beautiful. But today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do these. So these are tomapork steaks, so they're just the piggy version of it. So you've got a nice pork loin chop there with a bone on. It's just something a little bit fancier to show your friends or your family, and you can eat them caveman style once they're cooked with the bone on. Got a nice bit of fat for flavour, so we're going to season some of these up with some bone sucking sauce, and I'm going to do 4 of those with that, and then the 5th one I'm going to try something a little bit different and something random that I quite often have on toast is marmite and marmalade together. So I'm going to mix those with some soy sauce, a bit of paprika, some garlic, some onion powder and some sweet soy sauce. We'll give it a baste at the end and see how it comes out. It might be an absolute disaster, but it might not be. It might be absolutely gorgeous. We'll soon find out. So I've marinated up 4 of my tomapork steaks with my bone sucking sauce, or you could just use any barbecue seasoning you've got if you want, or just salt and pepper. There for my wife and the kids. Then I'm going to try the random one, so I've just put a bit of salt and pepper on there, and then I'm going to make a marinade with the marmite, the marmalade and all the other stuff and see how we go. Little tip for you is wrap up your bones with a bit of foil. It stops them burning on the grill so they don't look all black and charred at the end. So I've made my marmite and marmalade marinade. That's a mouthful to start with. So in here I've got 2 teaspoons of marmalade, a teaspoon of marmite, 2 teaspoons of light soy, 2 teaspoons of sweet soy, a 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, same again of onion powder, same again of garlic powder. Just giving it a little heat up in the microwave just to melt the marmalade. And I've tasted it. You can taste a little bit of marmite in there. It's nice and sweet because of the soy sauce and the marmalade. So we'll brush that on near the end of cooking and see if I've made a nightmare of it or not. So I've set my coals up indirect at the moment, so I've got a hot side and a cool side. We're going to sear them on the hot side and then move them over and finish cooking on the other side. We're going to take them up to about 69-70 degrees. See them all on there now, and some nice caramelisation on the meat. Now plain one at the back there is going to have our marmalade and marmite glaze on in a little bit. Be careful of the fat dripping out, because as you can see, like on this edge, they've only been on like literally 1 minute and they will catch very quickly. So now I've got a bit of colour on them, I'm going to move them on to the indirect side. You can see now they're all one side and the heat is the other. We'll pop the lid on, close the vents at the bottom a little bit because otherwise it will just be far too hot in there. Drop the temperature down a touch and cook them up. So the chops that are having the barbecue glaze on, they're up to around 40 degrees now, so I'm just going to brush a little bit of this over. This is just barbecue sauce let down with a little bit of Sprite I think I used today, but you can use Coke, Diet Coke, Cherry Coke, Fanta, whatever you fancy. I'll put a little bit of that on there. And then we're going to go with the marmite and marmalade glaze on this one. And we'll just let that set on the top and then we'll flip them over. Right, let's see where we're at with these now. So I'm just going to go in with my probe, see what temperature we're up to. They're just coming up around 70, that one. So what we can do now is turn them all over. Give them another bit of sauce. Not forgetting the special one. Pop the lid back on for another couple of minutes. Just to help set the glaze a little bit more, I'm going to give them another couple of minutes over the direct heat. Just being careful not to burn them. And obviously you don't have to use tongs because they've all got a built-in handle. So if you've got a pair of gloves, just grab the gloves, turn them over. Once you're happy with the temperature, I'm taking these around 69, 70, take them off and leave them to rest for 10 minutes. So we're just going to pop these in the kitchen with a bit of foil over them to leave them to rest while I do some sliced potatoes with garlic and rosemary and thyme on them on the barbecue. So these I've just parboiled in salted water, and then I've put in some garlic, thyme, olive oil, salt, pepper, and then we're just going to, I can't remember if I mentioned I parboiled them. I'm just going to give these a reheat. Coals. So now our potatoes have got a little bit of colour on them. Just going to pop them back in the pan they were in. Don't forget to shut your vents top and bottom and save any charcoal you've got left over ready for next time. So our chops have had 10 minutes to rest. You can see all nice and juicy. There's all the juices in the tray there, you can see. So we can take our foil off. You've got a nice clean bone. So you can imagine a lot of blokes in the back garden stood around chomping on them. So now what we can do is just cut the bone off. And just give this a little slice and see what we've got. Inside, so you can see inside, still nice and juicy, all in there, just what you want. Now it's time to see if my crazy little creation tastes any good. Doesn't taste overly of marmite or marmalade, to be honest, but it's got a nice flavour to it. probably tweak it the next time I do it because I quite like marmalade and marmite. So I'll add more in there, but I would say you could give that to anyone, they wouldn't know what's in it.